Hey, cool, new movie trailers. Wow, there's so much stuff out now to watch. Have you seen them all? Can you watch them where you are? Can you not? You know what might help with that? NordVPN. Guys, you're watching a web video in 2025. You know what a VPN does. And if you don't, you can learn more and try the NordVPN 2-year plan plus 4 months extra by going to nordvpn.com/moviebob or follow the link in the description. Risk-free with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee. VPNs help you, your PC, your workstation, your tablet, your whatever. I'm an old guy, we just called it the computer. Be in more than one place at one time, even if you're not. Are you trying to look up the classic or hard to find movies, TV series, or games I talk about on my channel, but find they're only available to view or stream in certain regions? It happens to me all the time, and NordVPN can help with that. In an age where more and more content is getting restricted, siloed, or censored, NordVPN is all about making the internet more free and letting you see and share more information. The way the web ought to be. Like I said, check it out for yourself and see what you might have been missing. Click the link in the description or go to nordvpn.com/moviebob to get the NordVPN 2-year plan plus 4 months extra risk-free with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee. And now, on to the show. So I haven't run as many prediction video type things or new movie stuff videos that aren't reviews period as we were doing at one time because, as we discussed back when the fucking Flash was coming out, holy shit, superhero fatigue may not be a real thing, but psychological burnout from the world's sucking ass sure as hell is. But also, your boy has a whole other gig co-writing over at film theory and game theory and food theory and style theory. Yeah, I know, I never thought I'd be writing about fashion either, but life is a journey. Anyway, yeah, guess what? When, hey, any big upcoming movie predictions jumps off as a topic on my end for the last good stretch of my time, it frequently ends up directed in that end of the work instead. Only makes sense, so keep an eye out over there. You should be doing that anyway because everyone else over there does great stuff too. But also, I probably don't have to tell you otherwise that for a mid-sized channel like this one, new and upcoming movie coverage in 2020 is a shitty, grueling beat that just isn't fun anymore unless you think relentless performative negativity is fun, and I don't. So it's not as much fun, it's hard to get excited, so yeah, also that.
I am no warrior, and I will never fight again.
Here's what I mean. Having been doing this quote-unquote job for about as long as it's been a job in the online video space, it blows my mind that at least here in the YouTube space, and I stress this is strictly speaking in a YouTube and whatever still exists of Twitter, are actual humans still on Twitter at all, or is it all just robots, Russian spyware, and people who aren't exactly people? Maybe Facebook framing. Out in the real world of bigger and broader audiences, this doesn't seem to be the case at all. You got these previews out for stuff like new Superman, new Fantastic Four, even that new Captain America that all look, I don't know, pretty good to pretty damn good from where I sit. And regardless of good, at the very least, they all look like the kind of stuff that on YouTube specifically, the fandom culture, film geek bread and butter once upon a time not too long ago would have been all over, jumping right past good or not in favor of wild, excitable speculation over stuff like, holy shit, Crypto the Superdog, which version is it going to be? Which backstory? That's the Kingdom Come Superman logo. What does that mean about the timeline? Fantastic Four looks like the 60s. Is it a prequel? Alternate universe? Does that mean an ultimate fake out? And we're getting the Maker at some point? Natasha Lyonne is in the cast, but they won't tell us as who. Is she playing Birdie, the daughter of Darcy and Howard the Duck, who she originated the character of in What If Season 3? Did you know that's a thing? Because that's a thing now. Captain America 4 is about the giant rock guy from Eternals being made of adamantium. Well, guess that explains that new armor, so he'll be able to fight the Red Hulk, right? But also, wait, is Weapon X in this? Is this how we're getting Wolverine?
And I knock on her door and I say, Carol! Carol!
And yeah, I'm not saying videos and content like that don't exist and you can't find them if you look for them, but let's not bullshit each other either. Especially if you're logging onto YouTube on guest or just searching videos on browser, you're mostly gonna get buried in just absolute low-effort, depersonalized, trend-chasing slop. And I'm not even talking about the stuff that's all or mostly AI, that's a whole other fire hose of shit for another day. And it's not only dreary and negative, because there's not anything automatically wrong about being negative, providing it's a sincere reaction, but phony, insincere, performative feeling negativity. Superman's eyes are looking in weird directions in this one screen grab. This movie's gonna suck. The dog isn't the right breed. They didn't show us any unfinished stretching effects. The thing CGI isn't good. I don't even get that one. I think it looks great. Why are they wearing turtlenecks? Galactus looks small. That's not my Captain America. Go woke, go broke! And you know what? Seriously, guys, why do people have to be political and make it about skin color? It's 2025. The Hulk can be a red guy.
And the Oscar goes to a red guy.
Seriously though, regardless how Brave New World turns out, or whether you like Sam Wilson as Captain America or not, are people really too stupid to not figure out why they made that decision? Because it's not wokeness or politics, it's business. Sam is Cap in the MCU instead of Bucky, because in the movies, the Winter Soldier is really, really, really popular as a character, and the Falcon isn't as much. Like, seriously, that's it. In the comics, resurrected, tactical, grown-up Bucky was only ever kinda popular, but on the movie side, he's a lot of general audiences' favorite Avengers guy, because he does sick combat knife tricks, and has a robot arm, and has all the guns. He was pretty much the MCU's less problematic substitute Call of Duty generation Punisher for a while, whereas Falcon is a guy who people enjoy pretty much because Anthony Mackie is a charming, likable actor and natural movie star with a lot of screen presence who's always good and stuff. So if you have to potentially lose one of those two characters in order to keep Captain America reinforced as a running brand, you make Sam into Cap and give Bucky his own special character reveal drop in the Thunderbolts trailer, because yes, audiences really, really do love the Winter Soldier that much.
Is that Bucky?
There, you see, never attribute to ideology first what can be better explained by money. See also, why is Silver Surfer a girl now in this Fantastic Four movie apparently? Because it's hard to repeat merchandise a character that's just a blank figure painted silver unless you change it up in some way like, I don't know, putting a pair of tits on it. So they're putting a pair of tits on it. And I wanted to clear that off the board here up front, because I think when someone like me says online movie discourse is turned negative on purpose and that's bad, people immediately think we're only talking about the meme that YouTube and Twitter, and I guess Metaverse, Facebook at this point, have a right-wing or anti-woke political slant, and that's part or most of our equation. But in this context, I actually think it's a cause and effect reverse. Internet pop culture discourse doesn't feel angry, mean, and negative because a lot of popular content is right-leaning, and I disagree with it. That's reductive and oversimplifying of both my views and a lot of the content I'm talking about, honestly. From where I sit, the discourse is actually slanted in favor of negativity, period, and right-leaning content simply has an innate advantage in an environment of anger, toxicity, and misinformation, in the same way that a fish has an advantage underwater. The politics are effectively an incidental after effect of what the platforms have, for whatever reason, seemingly optimized to push to the forefront for engagement: anger, rage, misery, division, and resentment. And those emotions cut across ideological and political lines. Broadly speaking, it is clearly a much bigger problem with certain ideologies than others. Enough said. Flaws instead of clues. Actively looking for reasons to be disappointed in advance instead of hope. Reasons to hate. Excuses to lower expectations. Incursions into fandom culture by the worst excesses of he said, she said, tabloid press, and box office horse race game. And politicized fangasming for studio executives of all people. All of it with the same net ultimate effect in the end. Making you less excited about every movie, every show, every upcoming thing in popular culture. Seriously, how can it not? Even if all of this slop and bullshit doesn't change your own outlook or even reinforces your conviction that if a bunch of assholes on the internet are prejudging something, it must be good, it makes the prospect of hearing about it and talking about it something you dread, doesn't it? Because it's my job to be as fair as I can be about all of this, and even I get weighed down by this bullshit all the time. You can't see a new trailer or hear a new project being announced or even see an ad or a poster or hear some casting news without knowing immediately right after processing what you think, I know exactly what the discourse is going to be about this, and it's going to be terrible.
Oh, I made myself sad.
Like, the actual context of this video that you're watching right now is that needing to disconnect from doing videos like this for my own mental health because of what a slog this has become, because of the state of this, has been a major negative net impact on my business. This is costing me money, and it makes a profession that, to be honest, is really only worth doing if you enjoy it, not really enjoyable to do at all. So at a certain point, you have to acknowledge that we're here and ask, how the hell did this happen? Now, some of it is just people being people, and the internet only being as good or bad as the human race feeding into it, so yeah, mostly pretty bad and naturally susceptible to the negativity bias. That's where that term comes from. It's a very real and very widely held theory of human cognitive development and psychology based on evidence that negative emotional experiences weight more heavily and embed more deeply in the human brain. Basically, that our minds are literally hardwired to register pain, fear, sadness, rejection, anger, etc. more profoundly and remember those feelings more vividly than good experiences: love, love, joy, happiness, the pleasure centers, basically. The theory generally is that we evolved this trait for our survival. Negative things like that berry makes you sick, don't eat that, or that's the sound or smell of a wolf, get the fuck out of here, need to stick more than the happy experiences because the negative ones can get you killed. So in modernity, that feeds into the idea that negativity sells, rage is entertainment, performative catharsis, if it bleeds it leads, etc. It helps to explain why there's always been a mean streak to internet content, in the same way that it helps to explain why Jerry Springer stayed on the air and why Trump is president, but not necessarily, I don't think, why algorithmic internet platforms all suck in this specific way.
That just raises further questions!
But aha, that word, algorithm, that might explain it, right? Yeah, those opaque, supposedly neutral mystery equations that are supposedly running in the background of YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter, crunching everybody's views and clicks to better push what's popular and wanted to the front of the feed, and also optimize the advertising and potential revenue, unbiased and non-ideologically, of course. It's not like there's just some rich guy who owns whichever tech company in question is cranking the dial to push the content they want to the front, throttle back what they don't like, control the narratives to their own end, and reward whoever has the advertising bucks or political clout to spend. That would just be crazy talk on my part, to say nothing of monstrously unethical on theirs, right? Right? Besides, the thing is that in this specific context, it doesn't actually matter. Whether you believe the algorithm is a real thing, or you're sensible and think it is just the bosses at Google turning a great big dial, the end goal is meant to be the same. YouTube is a business. It's a division of the Alphabet Corporation, aka Google, and exists to make money for said corporation primarily through advertising revenue, which it gets more of the more you and everyone else watches.
Well, duh.
So whether you think the hand at the wheel is a human hand or the algorithm, it stands to reason that every decision being made about what shows up in your feed, my feed, anyone else's feed, or what doesn't, or what plays next, or what gets recommended, or what doesn't, or what's throttled, all of that pretty much happens with exactly one aim in mind: to keep you watching YouTube and encourage you to watch more YouTube. And in that context, what sort of content would you expect to be foregrounded, algorithmically or otherwise, about movies, TV, gaming, the whole rest of media and pop culture? Positivity? Excitement? Neutral curiosity? Why? That's basically encouraging people to stop watching YouTube or scrolling Twitter or swiping through Facebook to go engage with something else. YouTube might also still be the universal player platform for hosting and posting movie trailers and commercial links for sheer convenience and solid coding, but it stopped being only or even primarily that over a decade ago when ads and monetization kicked in. YouTube is a medium, however performatively janky and often substantively inferior to film and television. Movies, TV, legacy media are not its subject matter, they're its competitors. So if you were the algorithm or the algorithm's boss, why wouldn't you instead bury everyone in content that screams about your competitors? Every movie is bad now. Everything looks bad and woke. Don't go to movies. Don't watch TV shows. Just watch YouTube. Keep watching YouTube and YouTube content, complaining about everything instead. And here's another video and another just like that. Everything sucks but YouTube. Everything is bad. All the movies are bad. All the shows suck. Just keep scrolling. Think about it. I mean, really think about it, because I have some experience with this. The most popular thing I've ever done on this platform as an independent creator, probably the reason a lot of people know who I am and are watching this channel in the first place, was a scathing review of an Adam Sandler movie called Pixels. I mean, I really laid into it, and that video got me a 2-page article interview in the New Yorker that my mom still has framed, and today stands at 2.3 million views here on YouTube. And it's fine. Like, I wouldn't call it my best work, but it's not my worst. It's just mostly me using colorful language and being angry about having just watched a shitty movie. For contrast, this video, also mine, a more thoughtful reappraisal of the first 5 Adam Sandler movies focused on their positive qualities, place in the development of the modern film comedy genre, and Sandler's reputational decency as a professional and colleague among his peers, that one rates around 70,000 views. Not bad, not 2.3 million either, and it certainly didn't get me any interviews in the New Yorker. And the biggest vibrational difference between those two videos is that one is more or less saying, don't go see a movie under a lot of curse words, whereas the other is saying, maybe it's time to rewatch at least 5 movies in a more thoughtful and positive cadence.
Release the gun.
Now, sure, that's just one anecdote from one creator, and maybe I'm wrong about that. Maybe I'm wrong about what it says. Maybe I'm wrong about all of this. After all, it's hard to prove. If it was corporate policy working the levers, they'd just lie about it, and trying to prove a genuine algorithmic bias is like trying to side-eye a funhouse mirror. You can technically do it, but not without changing the input data, and that's the whole point of having looked in the first place. And I'm not even really alleging anything nefarious. It makes sense from a pure money-making perspective, from a business standpoint, that the internet would evolve into a shitty place to talk about media because it's better for the people who own the internet if the only media people ever want to engage with is the internet. I'm just saying it sucks, both for my own business interests and also just for fun. It sucks that positive essays and deep dives in general won't get the kind of traffic that takedown content does. It sucks that positivity has to clear a standard to not be cringe, but every version of anger is treated as authentic, to the point where even a pretty noteworthy YouTube generation critic like Chris Stuckman can say something as innocuous as, "Hey, making my own movie fundamentally changed the way I look at the filmmaking process, and I'm probably going to be less negative overall," and instead of considering his perspective, people crucified him for it. It sucks that even nostalgia content is largely morphing from, "Hey, remember this cool thing?" or "Ever heard of this cool thing from the past?" into "Wokeness and change are ruining all the things and destroying your memories," because fake outrage farms more clicks. It sucks that cheerleading for movies to fail gets platformed over every other form of speculation or anticipation, whether it's an algorithm, deliberate corporate throttling, or the audience doing a cargo cult response to both.
Go away! We're having a good time until you showed up! Go have some coffee with cream or something!
And I don't know what to do about it when so much else is so bad, other than to say, watch more actual movies. Watch more actual shows, even ones people tell you are bad. Stop fucking scrolling.
Delete Twitter.
Don't only watch YouTube. Like, seriously, don't. Please continue to watch my stuff, obviously. Please continue to watch other folks that I mentioned here. Please continue to watch other positive content. I'm not even saying don't watch negative content, hell, but like, if someone tells you that a movie is really bad, watch that movie and find out for yourself. If someone tells you a movie is really good, watch that movie and find out for yourself. But especially if someone tells you a movie really sucks, watch it and find out. You might find out they're wrong, or you might find out that it sucks in a fun way.
You are tearing me apart, Lisa!
The internet was supposed to expand our media horizons and our media experiences, not compress it for the benefit of a handful of corporations and a handful of platforms, certainly not just one platform. And letting that happen isn't just socially bad in a general anti-corporate sense. It's clearly making us angrier, more negative, and having a terrible negative effect on art and culture itself. And we can't count on the companies and the medium to stop it. We have to stop it ourselves. And that's not me saying that I'm never going to have anything negative to say, but we should be much more responsible with our negativity and much more reckless with our positivity, because we could use more of that second one. I'm Bob, and that's the big picture.